Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and fellow participants, on behalf of the organizing committee, we welcome all of you to the Diamond Jubilee International Conference on Mental Health, on the theme of public mental health of the people, by the people, and for the people, organized by the Department of Psychiatry, PGIMER, Chandigarh. It is with great pleasure and excitement that we gather here today to inaugurate this significant conference. This event serves as a beacon of knowledge, collaboration, and innovation in our respective fields.
It's a matter of great privilege and pleasure to share with you all that we have amongst us Professor Vivek Lal, worthy director of the Institute as guest of honor, and Professor Afzal Javed, our chief guest for the event. I request Professor Debashish Basu, the organizing chairperson of this conference and head of Department Psychiatry, and Dr. Akhilesh Sharma, organizing secretary, to escort Professor Vivek Lal and Professor Afzal Javed to the dais and take their seats. Professor Afzal Javed is the president of the World Psychiatric Association, a doyen in the world of psychiatry with special interest in social and transcultural psychiatry and psychosocial rehabilitation. And we are beyond humbled to have you here. Sir, we are grateful that you took out time from your extremely busy schedules to grace the occasion.
I request Dr. Nishtha to present flowers to our chief guest. I now request Dr. Namrata to present flowers to our worthy director. Thank you, Dr. Namrata and Dr. Nishtha.
As we begin our quest for knowledge, let us seek the blessings of Ma Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, wisdom, and learning. We would also request the dignitaries to come forward and light the lamp, please. Thank you, sirs.
Now, I invite Professor Basu to welcome the dignitaries and delegates.
Dear Dr. Afzal Javed ji, our chief guest of today's occasion and the inspiring beacon of light behind today's program, our dear and very close, very supportive, very positive, dynamic director, Professor Vivek Lal ji, my friend Dr. Akhilesh, and all our dear, respected, loved delegates, seniors, students, everyone in the hall, all those who have come, taken the trouble of joining us, some of you I know from a great distance. This is a great day, not just in our own personal life or departmental life, which is important nonetheless as we celebrate or commemorate our 60th anniversary, if you will, or at that time when Professor Narendranath Vig joined the department, it was a department of internal medicine, there was no psychiatry. Psychiatry was an extremely stigmatized subject at that time. There was no psychiatry in General Hospital. He started the General Hospital Psychiatric Unit in PGI Chandigarh. When he joined later, department came later, but when he joined on 16 September 1963. So that itself is a great occasion why we are here, and there's a long journey of the 60th year, which we'll try to capture in a 5-minute capsule. I know it won't do justice to it, but it'll be fun to watch, including Professor Wigg's own voice a little bit, and then a short kind of slight shot of the departmental story. But more than that, my friends, this is also an occasion to celebrate an advance of mental health beyond the four walls of the traditional asylum or the mental hospitals, not even beyond the community mental health, but actually going into the area of what may be called the public mental health. I'm not here to talk about that. For 3 days, we have 3 days for that, but I want to welcome all of you, and I can see that I mean, there are so many. It'll be, I won't take names. I can see my teachers there. I can see my friends there from India and from abroad, and our faculty colleagues from PGI Institute, our students. I welcome all of you. We have had an unexpectedly large number of registrations. The hall might not exactly seem so because people are still coming, but the actual number of registrations has gone beyond our all expectations. We were thinking of 300, maybe 400. I said I'll be very happy if we have 500. Today's number is around 900 registrations. And at least country-wise, there are representation of 15 countries. So India, UK, Australia, Canada, name it, I have the whole list, but this is not the time to flaunt things. That's not the point. The point is that I just want to welcome you. Please be comfortable. The only thing working against us is the weather. I'm not responsible for that. So other than that, I think you'll enjoy the hospitality and the academics and the agenda, the advocacy that we need to carry forward. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The Department of Psychiatry at PGI-MER has been a stepping stone and a home to many people who have left an indelible mark in the world. Over the course of time, we have lost a few of such gems. We would like to remember those who have left us. I request all to stand in silence for a minute as we remember them. Thank you, everyone. Please take your seats.
This year marks 60 years of Department of Psychiatry at PGI-MER. Over these years, the department has grown not only in numbers, but also in other aspects of clinical practice, service delivery, research, and academics. We take you through the departmental journey of 60 years via this video.
I joined here on 16th of September.
I'm sure witnessing these 60 years here in 5 minutes was nostalgic, and many would be reminiscing their personal journeys.
Now, we would like to release some departmental ebooks. The tradition of having a general information manual for the department continues in the form of Pink Book. The second treasure is the Alumni Almanac, which enables us to connect to all of you in a matter of just seconds to minutes. It is a live, editable document, the link of which is shared with all the alumni.
Now, we move on to the release of 3 important documents. I request the dignitaries on stage to please come forward for the release of the documents. For the release of Departmental Journey Book,
We'll call them.
yes, sir. For the release of the Departmental Journey Book, I request Professor P. Kulhada, our esteemed teacher and former head of the department, for the honor. Thank you, sir.
I now request our own alumnus, Professor Rakesh Chadda, Head, Department of Psychiatry at AIIMS Delhi, and President-elect, World Association of Social Psychiatry, to come on the stage for releasing the World Social Psychiatry Journal, which commemorates this international conference on the theme of public mental health. Thank you, sir, for the honor.
I now request Professor Roy Kalivyalil, Vice President, World Federation of Mental Health and past President, World Association of Social Psychiatry, to come up on the stage to release the World Association of Social Psychiatry textbook, the WASP textbook of social psychiatry.
Distinguished dignitaries, I'll just take 1 minute to say about the book. This book is known as the WASP, World Association of Social Psychiatry textbook on social psychiatry, historical, developmental, cultural and clinical perspectives. This has just been published by the Oxford University Press. And the cover was released during the book cover was released during the World Congress in London in January. But this is the first time the published book is coming. This book has got 43 chapters written by 51 eminent authors from 13 countries. So many of the people, many of the distinguished dignitaries sitting here are authors there. And this book is available for a price about $90. And if 10 people joined, the 10 people are asking, the authors can ask for a 50% discount for these copies. I'm very privileged to release this first published copy here during this conference at the institute where I had my training. Thank you.
Professor Roy would also like to gift one copy of this textbook to our Honorable Director, please. Thank you, sirs.
The Department of Psychiatry is a collaborating center of the WPA. The organizing committee, in collaboration with World Psychiatric Association, conducted the WPA CC Chandigarh Traveling Fellowship Award based on vlog contest on public mental health, supported entirely by World Psychiatric Association. The runner-up of the vlog contest is Dr. Geeteshwar Diwan, MD Psychiatry Trainee Doctor from Government Medical College and Hospital, Chandigarh. Yes, sir.
Public mental health in middle and low-income countries. How can we make it true? As per the World Psychiatric Association, public mental health involves a population approach to improve the coverage, outcomes, and coordination of public mental health interventions. Middle and low-income countries face the highest brunt when it comes to challenges faced in public mental health interventions. More than 80% of people with mental disorders reside in low and middle-income countries. Shockingly, from an Indian perspective, the entire state of Bihar has as many patients suffering with schizophrenia as there are in the entire North America. So what are the challenges that we face in public mental health interventions? Number 1, widespread discrimination and stigma against mental health. Lack of mental health resources follows suit. Number 3 is lack of dignity and respect of people with mental health illnesses. So what are the possible solutions? Mental health interventions can also be divided into primary, secondary, and tertiary levels. Primary prevention addresses the risk factors for a mental disorder, like socioeconomic inequalities, childhood adversities, and parental mental disorders. Secondary prevention involves early intervention for a mental disorder, especially at the childhood and adolescence level, to prevent its progression. Tertiary prevention involves intervention for people with established mental health conditions to prevent relapse and also premature mortality. Interventions to promote mental well-being can also be considered by the different stages of life course as follows: starting well, developing well, living well, working well, and finally, aging well. Proper legislations are equally important to improve the public mental health and bridge the wide gap that exists in these services. From an Indian perspective, the enactment of the Rights of Persons with Disability Act 2016 and the Mental Health Care Act 2017 provides a robust set of principles that recognizes the rights of people with mental illnesses and psychosocial disabilities. Further, existing initiatives and programs such as the District Mental Health Program and Ayushman Bharat are continuing to work to provide mental health services integrated with primary health services. Public mental health can also be tapped through services like crisis resolution and home treatment services. Transitional living facilities like Halfway Home provide a residential adobe before integrating people into the society and promoting deinstitutionalization. And as the theme says, public mental health. Of the people, by the people, for the people.
The winner of the WPACC Chandigarh Blog Contest is Dr. Kirtana Suresh, MD Psychiatry Trainee Doctor from the Shri Lakshmi Narayana Institute of Medical Sciences, Pondicherry.
மனநோய்னா என்னன்னு எனக்கு புரியல. அப்படின்னா மனநோய் அது ஒன்றும் இதாக தெரியல மேடம். நம்மளாம் உருவாக்கிட்டு தான்.
டிப்ரெஷன், மேனியா, பைபோலார் டிசார்டர், சிசோஃப்ரீனியா.
மன ரீதியாகவே கொடுக்குற சில பிரச்சனைகளை வந்து அதுதான் உடல் ரீதியாக கொண்டு போகும்.
அதில் கஷ்டம் இருந்தால் தான் அதுமாரி வரும். கஷ்டம் இல்லைன்னா வரப்போதில்ல.
Could be environmental, could be genetic.
அப்படி இல்லை, பரம்பரையிலும் கிடையாது. பரம்பரை வரையும் உடனே செகண்டில் நடக்குது.
Some of which are heritable.
கோயிலுக்கு இட்டுட்டு போவோம், மந்திரிக்க சொல்லி ஏதாச்சும் பேக்கி பிடிச்சிக்கிட்டான்னு சொல்லிட்டு கோயிலுக்கு இட்டுட்டு போவோம்.
முதல்ல நாம் வந்து அவங்க வந்து கவுன்சிலிங் பண்ணணும். மனநல மருத்துவர்கிட்ட தான் கொண்டு போகணும். ஏன்னா அவங்க தான் அதில் எக்ஸ்பர்ட்.
Definitely a psychiatrist.
பேசாத வார்த்தையெல்லாம் பேசிக்கலாம், எனி டைம் யோசனை பண்ணிட்டு போட்டாங்க.
இங்கே கடையில் வேலை செய்கிற பையன் நைட்டு தூக்கம் வரல, நிறைய டிவி சாப்பிட்றோம். வீட்டுக்காரர் வந்து என்ன பண்ணாங்கன்னா ஒரு மனநல ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் கூப்பிட்டு போனாங்க.
ஈவன் டிப்ரெஷன் கூட நம்ம வந்துட்டு சைக்காட்ரிஸ்ட் போய் பார்க்கணும்.
கண்டிப்பாக ஹெல்ப் இருக்கு மேடம்.
மனசுக்குள்ளே வச்சிருக்காது, ஓப்பனாக கொஞ்சம் நம்ம பேசினாக்கா அது சரியாயிடும்.
மருந்து மாத்திரை தேவையில்லை, மன நிம்மதி
இதையும் கொடுக்குறாங்க. அது எதுக்குன்னு எனக்கு தெரியல.
மாத்திரை மருந்தோட பேசத்தே போதும்.
For some diseases it's necessary until he is recovering.
டெய்லி கியூர் ஆகிற வரைக்கும் சாப்பிடலாம். மோஸ்ட்லி அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு தூக்கம் வராது, ஸ்லீப்பிங் டேப்லெட் தருவாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
டெய்லி குடிக்கிறவங்க பேச சித்ரால் சிம்டம்ஸ்லாம் இருக்கிறவங்களெல்லாம் they definitely need psychiatric.
அடிக்டிங் ஆகிட்டானா அது மனநோய் தான் கண்டிப்பாக ஆகும்.
மனநோய் கிடையாது, ஒரு என்ஜாய்மெண்ட்டுக்கு குடிக்கிறாங்க, மன கஷ்டத்துக்கு குடிக்கிறாங்க. அது மனநோய்க்கெல்லாம் வராது.
அவங்க வந்து அதை கண்டிப்பாக நிறுத்தணும்னு அவங்க முயற்சி பண்ணாங்கன்னா அங்கேயே தான் இப்போ தங்க வைக்கிற இடத்துல மாத்திரையும் கொடுக்குறாங்க. அதுக்கு அவங்க நிறைய பேசி அவங்கள மாற்றுறதுக்கு முயற்சி பண்ணுறாங்க.
இல்லை சரி, அவன் நானே தான் தொடர்ந்து இப்போ எனக்கு ஒன்றும் கயிறு கட்டிக்கிறாங்க. நான் கட்டினாக்கா அது கொஞ்சம் தண்ணி அடிக்க நிறுத்தணும்.
மனம் வைக்காமல் இருக்கிறதால தான் மனநோயில். ஆமாம், மனதளவு பாதிக்கப்பட்டது, அதுதான் அந்த பிரச்சனையாக வருது.
No, I don't think so. It is only related to emotional factor. It's multifactorial.
மேபி அது நர்வ் ஸ்டிமுலேஷனுக்காக தேவைப்படுமான்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
அதை பற்றி ஐடியா இல்லை, பட் எனக்கு சூடோ சயின்ஸ் மாதிரி ஒரு வகையில் தெரியுது.
ரொம்ப அக்ரெசிவாக இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு வச்சு தான் ஆகணும்.
Success rate is very good.
Mental health in general and illness in particular has always been a taboo or lack of knowledge, as you could see from this observation of a cross-section of people from different strata of myriad professions, including doctors. Despite being globally recognized as an important public health issue, mental health is still less prioritized as a disease burden in many low and middle-income countries as ours. As perceived in our survey, we now see some light at the end of a very dark tunnel of mental health, with few answering the question right. Mental health awareness needs to be elevated. Irrational beliefs and myths should be broken. Yes, it's a challenge, but hope beckons with the right kind of programs to educate the general public. I conclude, your illness does not define you.
I request the President of World Psychiatric Association, Professor Afzal Javed, to present the certificate and award to the winners. Dr. Kirtana Suresh and Dr. Giteshwar to come on stage, please. WPA awards the winner with US $300 for her travel and participation in the conference. And US $200 for the runner-up. Thank you, sir, for this gesture of encouragement and motivation to young mental health trainees.
It is with great privilege and gratitude that we have Professor Vivek Lal, worthy director of the Institute and the guest of honor for the conference, whose invaluable support has paved the way for our success. Sir, we are honored to invite you to address our audience with your insights and expertise.
Mrs. Afzal Javed, Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, Afzal Javed Saab. I'll first speak in Punjabi and then I'll translate it into English. वो कहते ने पंजाबी ते आलू हर जगह मिलते. It turns out both me and Afzal Javed ji are Punjabis, separated by a common border. 5 minutes we spent together, 5 minutes ਅਸੀਂ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਸੀ in the director's room. It turns out that his ancestors migrated from Hoshiarpur to Lahore and Gujranwala, and my parents migrated from Gujranwala to Hoshiarpur. So nothing can be more telling than that. I told him that I have had the distinction of going, I'm one of the few Indians who went to Pakistan in 1987. I joined this institute on 1st July 1987. And 17th July 1980, it's a red letter day because that is the first foreign country I went to. 17th July 1987, I crossed the Wagah border. Those of us who feel that the Pakistanis are different from Indians need to go there to realize how similar we are. वो टैक्सी का मीटर वैसे ही चलता है जैसे दिल्ली में चलता है ना. It goes up and up, 2 into 10 into what not. That's how the Pakistani drivers are, as they are in Delhi, you know. And so I went by road. I stayed in Lahore for 3 days. और मैं इन्होंने दसिया कि अनारकली बाज़ार, it's a famous बाज़ार in Lahore. उन्होंने मैनू इन्नी चाह पिलाई पर एक भी दुकानदार ने पैसे नहीं लेते. I had tea at every stall and not a single shopkeeper took a single penny from me. Not a single penny. And I can tell you the tea which is served in, is it still there, sir? Is the Anarkali Bazaar still there? So, you know, and that it was an experience of a lifetime for me. I came back with very happy memories. And when Dr. Basu told me that Professor Afzal Javed is coming and he's from Pakistan, I was thrilled to bits because I have the distinction of hosting the only neurology conference as an organizing secretary, which was an Indo-Pak neurology conference, again in this hall in 1998, where more than 100 Pakistani neurologists had come, and you know, we benefited from their knowledge and inputs, and vice versa. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, mothers and fathers, grandparents. Now let's come to the topic for which I'm here. We all are today living on a brink. The issue of mental health is not an issue. It is not a menace. It's worse than a nuclear bomb, I'm telling you. The juggernaut of mental health is all because of a fracture in the family values, in the society values, and in values across the board. I just heard these two boys, you know, boy and girl, talk about mental health and those interviews. I still feel that we are not even acknowledging the tip of the iceberg. We're not even acknowledging the tip of the iceberg. This is a massive juggernaut. This is a massive juggernaut. Abnormal mental health. And I can tell you it is very easy to treat a patient who comes to you with neurological problems and, say, cardiac issues and things like that. It is actually next to impossible to treat a patient with abnormal mental health. And the reason is denial. In our society, across all continents, mental health is considered a stigma. It is not one. She made the last statement, your disease doesn't define you. Am I right? I was so pleased with that statement. Congratulations on that statement. You deserve the award for that last line. We have to understand that proper schooling, proper education at home, and proper values in the society are mandatory if we have to move in a coherent and a productive manner. Mental health is a hydra-headed monster. That's why you've got so many organizations related to psychiatry. World Psychiatry Association, World Social Psychiatry Association, and a few more. So it's a hydra-headed monster. And a hydra-headed monster calls for an honest introspection. It is not going to be addressed just by surfing the surface. As I said, it's a juggernaut worse than a nuclear bomb. There are only 8 countries or 9 countries which have the nuclear bomb. Mental health is ravaging each and every continent, each and every country across the globe. We hear of school shootings. Only the other day, we were celebrating the World Suicide Prevention Day, and I happened to be there. And I was so pleased to see that a few residents, after doing a night duty, were so actively participating in that World Suicide Prevention Day. And I made it a point, I think I told you, that this is something you should have tweeted. You tweeted something which is irrelevant, like most tweets are. That is something you should have tweeted, right? That the importance of fighting a problem lies in acknowledging the problem. It lies in acknowledging the problem. Let me tell you, we were talking of legislation. Believe me, legislators have no time. I mean, they have no time. Nowhere, whether it is X, Y, Z, they are busy, they have other things to do. We have to address our own problems ourselves, meaning thereby we as parents, we as teachers, we as grandparents have to imbue our children with the right values. To me, the root cause of all abnormal mental, of course there are some illnesses which are genetic, we can't do anything about them, but 80% I can safely tell you with a rough underestimate are easily attributable to a breakdown of the society because of dilution of values. Professor Afzal Javed, you are president, a very big man, and I'm privileged to have you here, sir. Sasrikal, Assalamu Alaikum, welcome to PGI Chandigarh. But sir, my request to you would be, wherever you go, call a spade a spade. Sach bolanch banda bura banda hai. But sir, the truth is always better to be addressed rather than pushed under the carpet. Until and unless a miracle of some kind doesn't happen. One second. The cost, the morbidity, and the monstrosity of mental health is going to increase. Ask our forefathers how different they were. Ask our grandparents how different they were. If an aged person is admitted, you realize his mother, his father will be there, his brother and sister will be there. No longer true for the present generation. That to me is a sign of a sick society. And a sick society can never be cured by technology alone, sir. A sick society needs a soother, and that soother is going to be our joint effort, camaraderie, sharing, caring, if we have to move forward. I can't speak much today. I wish you all the very best. But I'll share one very famous joke with you. PGI has been known for 3 Ps. There are 3 Ps in the department in PGI which were iconic: psychiatry, pathology, and pediatrics. I wanted to do psychiatry. Oh, someone told me, अपनी शक्ल देखी है, psychiatry करन आ गया भज्जा, and I went back. You know, someone told me, you want to do psychiatry, have a look at your face. You're not worth being a psychiatrist in PGI. Professor N.N. Vig, I will easily rate as easily amongst the 5 best teachers this institute has produced in the last 60 years. I am privileged to say that for a brief period I happened to be his patient. I used to meet him in Lala Lajpat Rai Bhavan. We used to go to orphanages together to see patients. And that is where I realized just how important it is to be an important, holistic, rounded human being. To me, he represented all the good things of humanity, of this institute, and of family values. There is no one like him. So when I got this chance to be here, I had the Indian Academy of Neurology and I had to chair a session today. I got that session postponed. I said, I have to be here. That is the respect that he generated amongst those who even met him once. Thank you so much for inviting me, sir. I wish you all Godspeed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your unwavering support.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to invite our distinguished chief guest, Professor Afzal Javed, to share his wisdom and insights with us today.
Good morning, dear friends, very old friends, students, and distinguished guests. Let me first thank Professor Basu for giving World Psychiatric Association this opportunity to be associated with the department in PGI Chandigarh. I'm really glad and felt very proud when Dr. Vivek Lal gave his very kind remarks about psychiatrists, and especially visiting Pakistan, where many of you may have visited. He mentioned a lot about the contribution of late Professor Vig. I think he was a legend, he is a legend, and he will stay as a legend, not only in psychiatry for India, but regional psychiatry as well as international psychiatry. I had personal contacts with him for many years and was privileged of being his host in Pakistan, in UK, and also his guest here in Chandigarh. Sir, you mentioned about the great meeting you had about the neurologists. Let me remind many of our younger colleagues that this department of psychiatry in this institute was the first department in the world that organized a WPA Congress, which was held 3 days in Lahore and 3 days in India. And Professor Verma was head of the department at that time. So I always quote that Congress, that was a step forward in terms of sharing knowledge between these two countries. I first visited this department in early 80s, and I have been again privileged of knowing personally many of the head departments, starting from Professor Vig, Professor Verma, Professor Kulhara, Professor Avasti, Savita Malhotra, and all many who have been associated with this department and have always come up as true leaders, not only in academic world, but also in international psychiatry. And sir, World Psychiatric Association has nominated this department as a collaborating center with a special focus on public mental health. WPA's Action Plan Group on Public Mental Health, which is headed by Professor Jonathan Campion, we have been very grateful to this department for keeping this particular theme of the Congress, and also like to congratulate the winners of the awards, which will serve as a stimulation for many other students, not only to follow what the winners have achieved, but looking at the great names who have headed this institute, who have contributed significantly in national and international psychiatry. The faculty members, the alumni must be proud of what they have given the name to this particular institution. And the students and the trainees who are currently attending this department, they should also be proud that they are a part of a faculty or an institution or a department that has got a very big name in the field of psychiatry and mental health across the globe. It's very nice of you, sir, that you have been so nice and close to psychiatry. And being a neurologist, we share a lot. And I do hope that your patronage for psychiatry and mental health will continue, and we will be privileged to have the blessings of all those who matter in terms of the policies and in terms of the future exposure of psychiatry. I once again thanks Professor Basu and the distinguished director and the faculty members of this department for having this meeting and honoring WPA to be associated with this activity. We hope that we will continue with this journey of hope, dedication, enthusiasm, and a clear goal that Professor Vig and following him all the head of the departments of this department have really given us as a light for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. The Department of Psychiatry, PGI MER Chandigarh, along with WPA, has drawn up the Chandigarh Charter on Public Mental Health. I request the signatories of this document, Dr. Afzal Javed, President WPA, Dr. Debashish Basu, Director WPA Collaborating Center Chandigarh, and Dr. Vivek Lal, Director PGI Chandigarh, to please come forward. I also request Dr. Jonathan Campion, Chair WPA Public Mental Health Working Group, to please come on stage to join the dignitaries for the release of the document. Thank you very much, sir.
An art exhibition is on display in Zakir Hall, for which school students from classes 8th to 12th from government and private schools in Chandigarh participated. The students prepared artwork on the theme of hope. I request Professor Basu to present a memento prepared from one such artwork, each to Professor Afzal Javed and also to our guest of honor, our worthy director, Dr. Vivek Lal. Thank you, sirs. I invite Dr. Akhilesh Sharma, our organizing secretary, to deliver the vote of thanks.
A very good morning to all of you. Today we have amongst us eminent personalities in the field of mental health who have come from far distances to encourage us. I thank you all. Now I propose a vote of thanks. I sincerely extend my gratitude to Dr. Afzal Javed ji, President WPA, who took his valuable time out of his busy schedule to grace this occasion and encourage us. I am extremely thankful to our director, Professor Vivek Lal, for having come to bless us. It means a lot to us, sir. I thank all the dignitaries, faculty members of PGI, my colleagues and friends who have accepted our invitation and have come to encourage us. And I thank all the delegates who have come from different parts of the country to participate in this academic program. Without you, it is not possible. And also I would like to thank our pharma sponsors for their support. We sincerely have made our effort to make this academic program in best possible manner, and in spite of that, there might be some shortcomings, so please pardon us for that. Now I request you all to stand up for the national anthem.
Janagana mana adhinayak jaya hai, Bharat bhagya vidhata, Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha, Dravida Utkala Vanga, Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga, Uchchala Jaladhi Taranga, Tava Shubha Name Jage, Tava Shubha Ashish Mange, Gahe Tava Jaya Gatha, Janagana Mangala Dayak Jaya He, Bharat Bhagya Vidhata, Jaya He, Jaya He, Jaya He, Jaya 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 He.